Welcome back. This fourth module covers some very important topics, administrative things you'll need to keep in mind as a volunteer. It's on stewardship and risk management, stewardship of money, stewardship of 4-H's good name, and most importantly, stewardship of our mission with young people.
It's good to remember that stewardship is important, first because 4-H is a public organization and its volunteers and paid staff are responsible for its financial and other resources.
Second, we do it as a way of demonstrating to young people how organizations are managed, especially a public organization like 4-H. It was in 4-H that we each learned the values that go with our responsibilities.
And having learned those values and skills in 4-H, we're ready to apply them in new situations wherever we go in life. Teaching young people to be good stewards of resources is another way that you, as a volunteer, can have a lasting positive impact.
The Extension staff you work with will answer any questions you have on stewardship and risk management. There will be additional training in risk management that you will attend later. Up next, Matt and Rhonda and their discussion of this topic.
Welcome to the Volunteer Leader Orientation Series. This is Module 4, titled Stewardship and Risk Management. As adults leading the 4-H program, we play a big part in teaching young people to be good leaders and citizens. If we're good stewards of the organization and take steps to protect young people, they learn from that. We'll begin with stewardship, then discuss 4-H as a public organization, and follow up with general information on risk management. Stewardship refers to the organization's resources and is a very important part of 4-H work for volunteers, youth, and staff. Good stewardship is about accountability, responsibility, and setting clear expectations.
4-H is owned by the public. It carries a federal tax-exempt status and is designated as public because it receives a substantial part of funding from federal, state, and local government sources. Most of this is in the area of staffing and facilities. Program funds are often the role of foundations. The public nature means that staff and volunteers have certain responsibilities that go with the use of the 4-H name and emblem, responsibilities that include human and physical resources. Volunteers and members of 4-H clubs, federations, committees, and other groups are responsible not only to their own group, but also to the land-grant university and the public at large.
Being a public organization means that programs conducted by 4-H must be open to all, regardless of gender, race, sexual orientation, religion, and more. We must ensure that programs have welcoming demographics of communities. Good program stewardship means that all efforts associated with the 4-H name and emblem offer learning experiences of the highest quality, and that they are organized for the sole purpose of educating young people to learn leadership, citizenship, and other life skills.
4-H is a publicly owned program and it has a responsibility to deliver quality youth development experiences for young people. We can talk easily about the value of the program to those members and to their families. But because 4-H is a public investment, it must also deliver public value, benefits to community members not directly a part of the program. In order to deliver public value, we must make sure that we are not simply providing private benefits to individual young people, but also providing benefits to the community in which these young people live. Public value might include the work that 4-H members provide to improve the community through service learning activities, or members later having leadership skills and motivation to support their communities as adults. No matter what your position, as a volunteer, you must exercise your responsibilities consistently with policies and procedures that serve the best interests of the young people and the communities they live.
The name and emblem of 4-H is a copyrighted trademark, and all 4-H groups follow federal and state policies and rules regarding its use. Staff members are authorized to use the name and emblem. Annually chartered 4-H clubs and groups are as well. Vendors who want to use the emblem must get permission, in writing, from the local county 4-H staff. For example, if you raise money in the name of 4-H, you're responsible for protecting the good name of 4-H. You're responsible for both how the money is raised and how it is used. All monies raised using the 4-H name must be used only for 4-H activities, education, or character building. No contracts of any kind can be signed by volunteers on behalf of 4-H. If you're interested in fundraising or any contractual agreement, you'll need to talk with your local county 4-H staff about appropriate steps.
Along with sound stewardship, 4-H volunteers need to know about and follow good risk management practices. A risk is any uncertainty about an event that threatens an organization's ability to accomplish its mission. Risk covers the many unexpected incidents that can happen to participants, spectators, properties, and even the reputation of the Florida 4-H program. Risk management is a practice regarding emergency procedures and supervision of young people in 4-H, volunteer screening and other policies, appropriate levels of insurance, record keeping, and use of vehicles and equipment in support of the program.
There are special volunteer policies in place to ensure the safety of young people in 4-H. All volunteers will be screened, interviewed, and references collected. The level of screening depends on your volunteer role. Your county 4-H staff can discuss this further with you. Annually, volunteers will be given a letter of appointment from their county 4-H staff if appropriate. Those not accepted will receive a letter. There is no appeal process. Volunteering is a privilege. An important part of your face-to-face training will be understanding and signing of the Volunteer Code of Conduct. This is on the application and is on the florida4h.org website.
Because of our connection with the University of Florida, 4-H volunteers are required to take the online training course on youth protection before they can be approved as a volunteer. You must score a 90% or higher to pass. All University of Florida affiliated youth programs are responsible for ensuring that any program employees, volunteers, and other individuals directly in contact with minors under the age of 18 successfully complete an annual youth protection training, course number YCS 800, offered by the University of Florida. Your local 4-H staff can assist you with this process. Any volunteer who is responsible for the direct supervision of youth in UF-IFAS events or activities more than 10 hours in a month are required to be 435 live scan level 2 fingerprinted and screened. If the volunteer is supervised by UF faculty, staff, or a 435 level 2 screened volunteer, then they are not required to be 435 level 2 screened. A best practice, which is not a requirement, is to level 1 screen the volunteer. This concludes our module on stewardship and risk management. Be sure to visit the links provided on the webpage. Thank you for your time. Next up, our last module in the orientation series, Resources to Support Volunteers.